Are we just getting debated here? Because this is arguably the most pathetic thing we could have seen out of the Vancouver Canucks. First, let's take a look at David Pagnotta of the fourth period. He tweeted this out. The Canucks have some trade options regarding veteran Teddy Blueger. If their trade price isn't met, though, I'm told they will explore signing him to an extension. Bruh, what the hell is this? Vancouver hockey, what's going on here? Top reply says, so Nick Waugh gets a first, but Teddy Blueger can't get anything of value? Says a lot about the Vancouver organization. How high of a price are they asking for? His analytics have him being a 13th forward. If they get a 5th rounder, or a 4th or a 3rd, that's probably appropriate for a guy that missed like 75% of the year, right? Now, for what it's worth, Irfan Gaffar went out there and replied to this saying, yeah, the Canucks, they really, really like Teddy Blueger. They want to re-sign him if they're not able to get the price that they're asking for on the trade market. Nikhil said, LOL, that's pathetic. Absolutely ludicrous. Get assets. This team needs to look 6 years from now. Jabo Vancouver says, yeah, a lot of fans like Teddy Blueger, but he turns 32 before next season starts. It makes no sense to hold on to him if there's a reasonable offer on the table. And then again, it's like, he's a pending UFA. What reason is there for Vancouver, a rebuilding organization, to go out there and try to keep this guy in their roster? Unless you're trying to make the playoffs next year, which, oh, wait a minute, that's exactly what Rutherford said the plan was. Oh my goodness, that's why they're doing this, isn't it? It gets even worse, though. Because Stefan Rosner, yeah, the guy that we had spoken about, who reported all the Connor Garland, Vancouver, New York Islanders trade talk earlier in the week, he said this, as of right now, it sounds like Vancouver is not looking to take money back on deals, which makes it impossible to make moves with them. Oh my gosh, what is going on with the Canucks? If that's true, it's incredibly frustrating and an indication that they might not be all too serious about the rebuilding. Now you can take a look at this from two sides. One, you can look at it from the realists, tankists' point of view that says, hey, that's a terrible idea. Why do you not want to take on salary on a trade market that can probably use teams that are willing to take on salary? You can get draft picks and prospects and capital and value if you take on other teams' bad contracts. You can get a lot of stuff if you just succumb to the conditions of your hockey team. You decide, yeah, we're sucking this year. We're probably going to suck next year. Let's just go out there and get as much of the cap that we have used so we can get some extra assets on top of that. Let's be a broker for a team to get a guy with salary retained. Let's get, I don't know, these bad contracts from these other teams off their hands, and they can pay us a premium to do it. Vancouver is not looking to take on salary in trades involving their own players, it seems. Like, this is totally backwards from the idea of actually rebuilding. Now, from the opposing side, you can say, well, let's try to count this up on our fingers. Vancouver doesn't want to spend extra money on guys. Is that a management choice, or is that an ownership choice? Is that Francesco Aquilini saying to Rutherford and Alvin, hey guys, don't get on all these extra contracts, don't get all this money, don't bring on dead weight onto our salary cap structure because I don't want to pay these guys. Is there a possibility that that's what's happening here? And it's why we're seeing reports that says Vancouver doesn't want to take on any money in trades when they're 32nd in the league. Thomas Drance was going off on the radio about the Teddy Blueger thing, how Vancouver might be interested in exploring a Blueger extension. And this is absolutely the way that I think most of this market is going to react upon seeing that information. I refuse to believe they're this stupid. They should be fired if they do this. Irfan Ghaffar goes out there and says, yeah, I agree. I can't believe I actually bought that they were going to rebuild. Once again, Jim Rutherford and Patrick Allvin say they're in a rebuild, but their actions belittle their words. They are not interested in a rebuild, and they are going to spend this trade deadline and offseason to run back the just get in and anything can happen plan. What a ridiculous plan, man. Ridiculous. Thomas Drance went out there and spoke about the Canucks and ownership and management and whatnot. Take a look at this tweet. This is from Canucks Talk earlier in the afternoon. Taj tweeted this out. Thomas Drance speaking on how the Canucks were able to have success under Aquilini in the past with Gillis. I think they got lucky, hiring someone who wasn't afraid to tell the owner no. Eventually, the owner got tired of that and fired Gillis. That's quite ridiculous, isn't it? Like, thinking about an owner that was meddling so much that in the past, the best team that we had ever seen the Vancouver Canucks put on paper was built by that guy, and the owner had the guts to go out there and fire him just a few years later because the guy didn't have a plan that the owner liked. Like, it's so ridiculous, man. Take a look at this top reply from Sell the Team Aquilini. I wonder what kind of thought process they have about this entire thing. Canucks are going nowhere for another decade under this ownership. Canuck fans should be prepared and consider using their time and energy in more productive ways than investing in this team. Hence, exactly why we ended up making the giving up video a few days ago. Where is it? Yeah, it's just from over here. Giving up on the Vancouver Canucks seems to be the easy thing to do nowadays, no? With all that said, let's go out there and talk about this update from Stefan Rosner, also talking about the Vancouver Canucks here. He's seeing some chatter around Vancouver Canucks forward Brock Boeser. The New York Islanders had interest this summer. It also got reported in July that the Islanders made a push to get Boeser. Boeser valued term, the Islanders were willing to give it, but he stayed in Van. He also has a full no-move clause. So, with this in mind, maybe the New York Islanders, they stop talking about Connor Garland. Maybe they shift their focus on the Brock. And I love how the picture, such a nice picture. It's Bo Horvat and Brock Boeser celebrating a goal. Look at that. It's from before Bo was even the captain of the Canucks. He had an A on his sweater in that time. So I guess it was one of Brock's first few years in the NHL. But if there is some sort of a reunion, Brock Boeser and Bo Horvat, these two guys, they played pretty well together. Do you remember the BBB line? The Boeser-Bo Baertschi line? That was a staple back in, I believe it was, was it 2015, 16? I'm not too sure. No. Brock Boeser was drafted 2015. He was playing in North Dakota for 2 seasons after that. So it would have been 2017. Yeah, something like that. I'm stupid. I don't know. But the Islanders interested in Brock Boeser, it seems. It doesn't seem like the Canucks are willing to take on salary in that trade return, though, which absolutely sucks when you think about the fact that they are a rebuilding team. They don't want to spend any extra money. How else are you going to get assets, man? This is so pathetic, and it's so off from what a normal rebuilding, assets acquiring, draft pick, and prospect valuing franchise should be able to do. And I just don't know how far this is going to go if this is the plan. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the Vancouver Canucks potentially re-signing Teddy Blueger if their trade price isn't met? Whatever the trade price is, what do they want? Connor Bedard for this guy? I don't know. Turns out, actually, apparently the Pittsburgh Penguins want Teddy Blueger. So that's it. Pretty interesting update over there. Penguins want Blueger. The Islanders want Boeser. Vancouver is apparently setting the price pretty high, which is why the trade hasn't gone down yet. And they might be interested in re-signing their guys and not taking on any extra money. What a strange day for Vancouver Canucks-related trade news. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.